Well, it's Thursday, so it's time for an update with a tip. A thrifty tip, of course. Stay tuned and find out what it is today. Do you guys have a lot of county parks where you live? I love county parks. So many times there's never people around, and they're really very nice. Fun places to go. Check them out if you have some. My favorite part about county parks is there's no weeding. I don't have to pay any money besides my taxes, of course. There's no work to be done here. I can just really go enjoy life and nature. I forgot this part of it though, the mess. These cuties are getting so big. Here in the next week, I'm hoping to get these finally outside. They are well behind when I usually get them out there. But they're also extremely crazy. I haven't spent a lot of time with them, so I'm starting to try to calm them down a bit, giving them some scratch grains. And when you do that with chicks, make sure that you start offering them grit if they're not in a place where they can easily get it, like outside. Golden Comet, true to their nature. They're always the ones I've had, I should say, are always very friendly and nosy. I think this is the closest they've ever been to me without going into complete and total panic. So when you're trying to calm down your little chickens, this is a good way to do it. Just give them food that they really like and just sit there by them and leave them be and let them get used to you being around. See that pretty green grass? Usually by this time of year, that green grass is sprayed and killed off. But we have this front section, which is usually beans. And I think we're going to have a wheat field. I'm really excited about that because we have never had wheat right by our house, and I think it's beautiful. They're out in their fenced area now because we were getting a little too buddy-buddy with them following me around in the yard, and that never goes well at the end. It's difficult enough without all of the tears. So they're going to be in their little fenced-in area, and I'll let them out sometimes and still play with them, but there's no sense treating them like dogs. Check out this fancy thing. Whoop-de-doo, it's an old van, you may say, but look at this. Do you see that? That is the mileage on this van. It's a 2004 Chevy Venture. And I'll tell you, this thing has done an amazing job. Although most of the credit goes to my husband for keeping it going, but it's still going. Heating costs, annual shots for your dogs, pets, livestock. How about Christmas? How about school is starting? Or how about I just got a whole bunch of meat chickens and now I don't have any money to feed these things? What do all these things have in common? Well, they're all expenses that come up. They're all expenses that we have to deal with, but they're not emergencies. They're things that we can usually see coming months in advance. So what are you going to do about it? I'll tell you, there is nothing thrifty about finance charges and interest paid on debt. So if you're trying to live debt-free, which I hope you are, and if you're trying to get out of debt, these are the things that can completely derail your plans. I know they certainly have ours many times in the past. So what do? You sink it. Sinking funds, which just means you're putting money away every paycheck or every month so that you have it ready when that expense hits. For example, when our car got to be around 200,000 miles, we realized it probably wouldn't last forever. And if nothing else, it was going to rust right off the frame. So we sat down and decided when we thought we would need to buy a car and how much of a car we wanted to try to buy, or that was practical to buy. And then we started setting that money aside. So when it was time, we had the money there. The dogs are another example. It happens every year. I pretty much know how much that vet visit will be with a heartworm and all that. So each month I'm setting that money aside. Now, you may be shocked when you really sit down with all of these expenses and figure out how much a month that's going to cost to save, but you won't regret it when the time comes and you have the money instead of pulling out that Visa card or whatever you want to use and then being in debt to it for the rest of the year. So plan ahead. Don't get caught after the fact. Thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you the next time. Looks like the rest of the crew found me.